And we're going to start that right here, right now, with the game that everybody has come out of the weekend talking about, and that is the Ravens-Bills Classic. The Bills win 41-40 on Sunday Night Football. And I think there's a very good chance we see these two teams play again. I don't think this reflects poorly on the Ravens in the least. If there's anything that I think people come out of that looking at, and maybe what was looked at as a strength of the Ravens at that corner position, does Jair Alexander still have the juice to play? The Bills picked on him a little bit at the end. But other than that, that is a very, very good Ravens team. We saw how physically dominant they can be over the first 3.5 quarters of that game. And then we saw the resourcefulness of the Bills in the last 5, 6, 7 minutes of the game. And I think beyond just the obvious, which is that Josh Allen looked like freaking Superman out there. I think you look at the championship plays that were made by guys across the board. And I think in the most critical moments, who was making the biggest plays? Yes, Josh Allen, 100%. The reigning MVP was a massive part of this. And I would give him credit for so many different things that he did. The throw to Joshua Palmer at the end of the game was a throw that very few people on the planet could make. And obviously that was a huge part of setting them up for the game-winning field goal. But before that, we had plays from other guys on the team. And I think one guy that really stuck out in a number of different ways all night long, but in one particular moment, was Keon Coleman in scoring the touchdown on that 4th and 2. If you do not convert that 4th and 2, none of what happened on Sunday night winds up happening. But Keon Coleman keeps his concentration as the ball is tipped off of Dawson Knox's fingers. And I don't know that people gave Keon Coleman enough credit for the concentration it takes in that situation when that's not slowed down, when that's happening at full speed, to follow the ball and make that sort of catch off a deflection with the ball coming as fast as it's coming. And so what sparks the comeback, the first thing that sparked the comeback was that touchdown from Keon Coleman on that 4th and 2 play, and being able to hold his concentration on that ball. Unbelievable effort by Keon Coleman there. Then Ed Oliver, and the play that Ed Oliver made to strip Derrick Henry. Just the physical feat of being able to get Derrick Henry to that stalemate position, and you're trying to take Derrick Henry to the ground, and to have the playing strength to be able to knock the ball loose as you're working to get Derrick Henry to the ground. Just an unbelievable individual effort. And then the rookie tight end, Jackson Haas, who's the 3rd tight end on the Bills roster behind Dawson Knox, behind Dalton Kincaid. The concentration that he showed in catching that seam route over the middle and holding on to the ball as he bobbled it to set up the second touchdown as part of that comeback. Just an unbelievable effort all the way around. The Bills defense deserves credit too for bowing up and getting a couple stops, which, again, in that situation, when the Ravens have run for a zillion yards on you, and Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson have been having their way with you for 3+ quarters, to be able to bow up in that situation and be resourceful enough to get the stops that you need to facilitate the comeback. I mean, just unbelievable all the way around. I picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I didn't feel great about that pick in the 3rd quarter. I feel great about it now, though, because these are the sorts of things that you need to do to win a championship. And again, to dig deep on defense, to get the stops that you need, to get the plays that you need from guys like Keon Coleman and Jackson Haas coming out of nowhere. You always need plays from guys that are down the depth chart. Jackson Haas coming out of nowhere, and Ed Oliver. I thought all the way around it was a show of the depth and balance of the Bills roster, the experience they have in big moments, and of course, the quarterback that they have and what Josh Allen was able to do down the stretch of that game. Just unbelievable, a 5-star effort from a Buffalo Bills team that's been knocking on the door for some time. So they opened their final season at Highmark Stadium with a spectacular win, and one that looks like it could foreshadow some great things to come for that team. And again, I think the Ravens showed their strength as well. Those are 2 of the 4 or 5 best teams in all of football. I don't think there's much question about it.